Good morning, you guys. How is everyone doing on this morning? How is everyone doing? I want to start doing something that I have been wanting to do. And I was up this morning editing for one of my clients. I finished because I was supposed to do it last night. I went to sleep. But when I finished, I was like, even though it's a Friday, because I know we would try to wait till Monday to start all things new. I was like, even though it's a Friday, I think I want to start doing it today. And I guess one of the reasons that I said I wanted to start doing it today and not waiting until Monday is because a lot of times we procrastinate. When you want to do something good, or if you want to start doing something, you don't have to wait until Monday or Tuesday. Any day is a good day to start doing it right. Hey, the Black Barbie. We're gonna wait, and I'm not gonna. Hey, Miss Bridget. Um, I'm just gonna be on here for about 20 minutes, 20 minutes of motivation. Okay. And we'll do that every morning. Rather, I'm doing it here, rather, I do it when I'm at the gym on the treadmill. And then when I got on the scale this morning, y'all, I was just like so tickled pink. I was like, oh my freaking God. It is really just melting off. So I thank God for that too. So I thank the Lord for that too. Hey, Miss Muffin. We're gonna let a few more people start to come in, and yeah, and then I'm gonna do like a little daily motivation, and I put up there work and slay. Okay, work and slay. Um, really work, pray, slay, but I think I just put up there work and slay, and I wanna talk about how just amazing. It's not just geared at the women because I hope also with the men that the men can be motivated too. Okay. Because everybody needs some motivation. You know, we have to encourage ourselves. And then, even though, you could think positive and we can encourage ourselves, it does not hurt for, for someone else to come in and encourage you sometimes also, right? It does not hurt to do that. Okay. But I wanted to talk about in this daily motivation, I wanted to talk about, just work, pray, and slay. Right. I know a lot of times we feel like our work, the work that we do is in vain. But I want to encourage you all to that if God gives you a vision, he'll give you the provision. Even if nobody is noticing you at this point, sometimes that is a good thing to not be noticed while you're building the foundation. Because when you're building something great, sometimes the devil will try and come in and the devil can see the greatness of what you're building, will become intimidated, may have the influence at that time. We see that spirit of thievery is in the atmosphere. We're trying to steal the vision that God has given to you. Um, so God had put in my spirit this morning just to continue on doing the good work, right? In due season, you will be recognized. Just work, pray, and slay. Okay. Continuously build the foundation, continuously pray about it in secret. If you have people that in your inner circle that are praying warriors, that does not have a spirit of jealousy. Um, hey, sometimes you might want to come and ask them or come into agreement with them a smaller prayer circle, okay, where people are not praying against you, and then just slay, right? Don't worry about the vision at this point, your vision that God has given you. Don't worry about how small it is at this point, right? As you start to build, quietly build, I promise you, when the foundation is built and is safe, God will start to allow the right people to start seeing it, right? Everything has a time and a season. And I think sometimes, when God gives us a vision to start building things, we abort the vision, something of what could change our lives because it's not. it's not moving as fast as we want it to move. And sometimes it's not moving that fast because number one, God has to help us to build our character. Some people are just not ready. You can have like $1 million vision on the inside of you, but your character is not fully developed, right? And if it was to come into full fruition, right now, you would mess it up. And I've always said that, God ain't in no mess. God is not the author of confusion. Okay. So God is not going to give you a handcrafted vision, an original vision that's going to change your life for you to forfeit it and mess it up because you are not ready. That's why I say work, pray, and slay. It is always good to just continuously pray about it. You don't even have to tell everybody about it, right? Because when it's time, God will bring the right people into your life to help you to grow that vision. There's no microwave um, type growth, okay? Because as I always say, anything that is not built on a solid foundation cannot stand, right? And I think people need to, um, you know, what's the word that I'm looking for? I think that people need to um not be happy, but be content in those times, in those growth seasons, right? Because those are the most important times when you're building that foundation of that vision that God has given you, that is going to change your life, right? So it may not come now, okay, but if you keep at it, it would definitely come later, right? And so sometimes, when we're going through things and like, dog, I know that God has given me this vision. Why isn't it coming to pass? It is not coming to pass because there are some things that has to happen while you're building that foundation. We lose people, right? People that was never supposed to be there, right? Sometimes people come into your life for a season and they come into your life because they are a part, right, of the construction. They are a part of the construction, just like when you have a house that you're building, or if you have a building that you're building, you have certain people with certain expertise. And God, I feel like, allows certain things and people to be a part of the construction, right? But we got to know when their time is up. They come in to teach us a lesson, to add to the building for a little bit of time, and then after that it's time for them to go on, right. And so as we start to construct that building, as it starts to get taller, as that house starts to form, as it starts to get bigger, we bring in new experts, right? God will have you to bring in new experts to help you to finish that building and to birth out that vision and bring it to pass. Okay. So that's why I said work, pray, and slay. Okay. Um, just because it has not happened, right, does not mean that it won't happen. Especially if you have a burning on the inside of you and you know that God has given you the vision, right? God says, my word shall not return void, but it has to go and prosper. Let me tell you something. Sometimes we get so consumed with life, we forget to go back and pray and meditate and remember to remind God of God's word. I don't like to call God a he or she, right? Um, and say, I know that God has given me this vision. And because I know that God says, I am not a man that I shall lie, nor the son of man where I have to repent. So if God had given you that vision, God can do anything but lie. That word has to go and prosper. So sometimes, we have the wrong people in our lives. We get consumed with the wrong things, and that vision can be clouded up, right? And so sometimes we have to get back by ourselves and go and meditate and be reminded of the word and the vision that God had given us, right? So that we can bring that thing to pass. But we have to get junk out of our lives and just work, pray, and slay. Keep that vision on the inside of your head. You can't even tell everybody about your vision because they'll become jealous. They'll try to discourage you, right? They'll do any and everything because they don't know how to dream and bring things to pass. They'll do any and everything that they can to try and distract you, right? So that's why I said we have to continuously work on ourselves. When things don't happen for us, it's not because of us, of other people, right? It's because of us. Because no man, no woman could ever stop you, right? If you have a determination, they could never stop you from having what you want, right? What we have to do is ask God for wisdom and to reveal things for us so that we can put people in the places that they should be in our lives or completely out of our lives, right? So that the vision, because it's really not about um of us, right? I know a lot of times we think everything is about us. It's really not about us. It's really always just about God, right? Because we're all here on a journey. And sometimes I get excited when I think about that. I go, dog, I know that our souls and stuff here. I think about that all the time. I think sometimes I'm just a weird person. I get to thinking about we're just souls, and I can think about, dog, God, we're all here just passing through, and God has given us all a handcrafted journey, right? We all have a journey, and we forget about that because we get so consumed with garbage that means nothing. It's a distraction, right? We forget about the journey. And if we're here on a journey, that means that there is a end result, right? That means that everything that we need while we're on that path is put, right? There's a ram in the bush, okay? So everything that we need to get to the next level is already there. All of the people has already been predestined to help us, and we get worried, about I got this vision, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. If God has given you the vision, God will give you will give you the provision. Okay. And I think that we need to remember that women, ladies, I want for ladies and men too, but I am a woman. I would love for women to always remember how great they are, right? And we weren't put here, I think about when Jesus said, call for the women, the wailing women, okay? And I love that phrase, wailing women win. And one of the reasons, I was thinking about that as I was praying this morning, because sometimes I don't think that women realize that with the horn that God has put in our mouth, it's not to defame people, it's not to hurt people. It is a gift that is supposed to be used, right, for blessings, because the things that we speak out come to pass, right? And I think we need to rethink that when we're gossiping and lying and talking about who's, you know, coding who or whatever. I think we need to rethink that, okay? And start using our mouth and our words for the right things, okay? To bring things into fruition in our lives, to bless our children, to bless our husbands, to bless our families, right? Not to gossip and keep mess going and to speak curses and to allow that spirit of jealousy, because women carry a spirit of jealousy because we already have a spirit of that territorial spirit. It's just automatically on the inside of us, right? And so I think we need to redirect those emotions that we carry. It's okay because God had given us to it intuition. And I always say intuition is just the spirit of God, anyways, right? But I think we need to redirect some of that other energy. And I think jealousy is a spirit, right? That we allow to consume us, right? So that we can think, because whatever a man think it, that's what he is. Just choose starting today to start thinking those good things so that you can think a great life into your life, right? That's the reason why I always say, when people say, well, it's just meant for me. We have to be, be poor. I go, God says I came to give you life and give you life more abundantly. It is against God's word for me to be broke, busted, and disgusted and poor. And I refuse to be. That's why I do and go get everything I want. I'm not stupid. I know how to save, but I refuse to be. So I think we need to start keeping our eyes on what is going on in our own front yard and start using our mouths to praise and watch and see how things change in your life, right? Start blessing your children. And not only that, start praying for other people's children because our kids come in contact with each other. If we're going to talk about and speak curses on somebody else's children and only pray for our kids, okay, well, what if that child that you're speaking those curses on come in contact with your child that you pray for all the time and cause damage to your child? So that's why I say we have to learn to pray for each other, women. God says, the call for the wailing women, because wailing women win. We got to learn how to start using that horn in our mouth to start creating those things that we want in our life and pray for another sister, okay? Because I'm going to tell you what's going to get you yours. When you can celebrate with somebody else, and while I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, I was like, well, I got court, but I forgot we got a luncheon with the mayor today, too. Praise the Lord. I had forgot about that. So now I know to go ahead and put on my cute dress. I'm sitting up in court. I know to go on to the luncheon, okay? The Mother's Day luncheon that the mayor is giving. But um start celebrating with another woman, right? Learn to celebrate with other women. That's what's going to get you yours. Don't get jealous because somebody else get theirs first. It might not even be for you, okay? Each and every person has their own path and their own journey. So we get jealous because somebody else got something and it's good. Okay, your journey may be different. You celebrate with that person, know who you are, okay? And then you'll be celebrating something else. It may not be meant for you to celebrate that particular thing because that's not your journey or your calling. But when you could truly celebrate with somebody else, that's what's going to get you blessed. But a lot of people don't know how to do that because that spirit of jealousy in women, for some reason, it reigns, right? And I think it comes from also a lot of insecurity. Hey, she, it comes from a lot of insecurity. So what we have to do is we have to pray, okay? We have to pray for God to keep us sane, to work on us, because women are very powerful. God gave us that intuition so that we could help to protect our families mentally. He gave men the physical. Okay, so that's why their bodies are different. They physically protect their family, but that intuition is the spirit of God so that it can protect us and our families. And God gave it to us, right? And so we have to learn how to put things into perspective, okay? So that we can use all those senses and all those things that God gave us, all those thoughts positively, because it's going to change your life. You ain't changing your life being hating on another woman, lying on another woman, because a lot of times what we do is we will start saying negative things about people, putting out lies because they want to change the way that people feel about you or look at you, right? But guess what? When it's for you, it don't do nothing but backfire on them. Anything that's for you, you're gonna get. Okay. And so now when people do certain things, that karma is into rotation. A lot of people can't get to where they need to be because that karma is into rotation. They're always doing something that's causing bad karma in their life. It's time to get out of that. It is. It's time to get out of that so that you could start living your best life, right? But anyways, you guys, like I said, I'm gonna start getting on doing daily motivation. I didn't get a chance to go to the gym, and I see now why. And then because I was like, let me go to the gym, and I was like, nah, I ain't gonna go today. This morning, I'll probably go this evening, right? Because when I got on the scale and I was down, yeah, I'm almost totally out of like I'm down. I'm almost into another number. Okay. I'm almost into another number. So that ain't nothing but, oh my God. I was like, Lord, look at this. Because at first I thought, I was like, dog, is the weight stuck to me? I was thinking that the weight was stuck to me. I was like, I don't care what I do, the scale won't move, and when it do move, it moves up. I was thinking that, I was going through a menopausal thing, and so maybe I was like, is it the water that won't that's stuck, or that's won't dry up or something? But now that I see it going down and it's moving fast too, like I said, I'm losing a pound. I was losing a pound every day, and now it seems like I'm losing a pound and a half or 2 pounds every day. Now I said, "Oh Lord, I sure thank you." Oh yeah, I'm gonna be summer fine by the time my birthday come. My friends and stuff. I have friends that live in New Orleans, so I told them. I told her, I said, "Girl, you might not recognize me when you see me this summer." Okay. Because that weight is moving. Well, I will say this now, because y'all know I don't be telling no lies. Now, what is helping me is I do take a fat burner too. I take a fat burner, so um it's I guess it's burning up that water. Because a lot of times our body weight, the weight that we have on us is water. When you start seeing that swelling coming down in your neck and stuff, that's why I've been, I'm lifting them weights. Um because as you lose weight, especially as women, as you get older, you have to your breast is a muscle. So in order for your breast to stand up, your breast don't necessarily have to flop as you get older. All you have to do is work out, and that build that muscle back up, they'll stand up again, child. When I gained weight, it seemed like, I don't know what it is. It seemed like my booty went in or something. As you gain weight, your waistline get bigger, your stomach get bigger, and it seemed like that booty go in. But as you start to slim down, your waistline go down, that waistline go in, and your stomach, you start to lose that belly, that butt pop out again. My mama told me that too. She said, once you start losing that weight and you work on your belly and your waistline, that butt gonna come back out again like an apple. Um, Cypress says nice muscles. Cypress crazy. Anyways, you guys, ladies, and just make sure you speaking positive things. You don't have to consult with the stars or go and get voodoo, because there's a lot of people do that. Now I would feel a certain way about myself if I was using some type of magic and witchcraft to try and control things, because you're gonna pay for it. Now you have to reap what you sow. Okay. um and whatever is for me is already lined up for me, so I don't have to try and use witchcraft to control it. It's already there, because God has already made the provision as it relates to the journey that I was put here on. That's what a lot of people forget. I would think I would feel a certain way about myself if I was using witchcraft to control somebody into doing what I wanted them to do. And I think that spirit of witchcraft is very prevalent in our community too, because I see a lot of people get mad when people aren't doing what they feel like they should be doing. That's witchcraft. That spirit of control. If you don't do what I want you to do, I got that saboteur spirit. I'm a sabotage you. It's prevalent. That's why that karma continuously rotates in our community. That's why I said, get out of that. Start speaking positivity in life. It starts in your very own household. Speaking in your own, speak positivity in your life. Once you start speaking positivity in your life and celebrating with those around you when good things happen to them, and start speaking positive words over your children and grandchildren, you ain't got time to be speaking witchcraft and curses over nobody else. You're minding your own business. We have to do it one household at a time. Once your life start to change for the better, you ain't got time to really be worried about what somebody else is doing or not doing, right? So that's why I said we have to, ladies, use that horn that God gave us in another way. And it is to get your family out. Words are powerful. That's why um I was listening to somebody and they was talking about something, and it's just certain things that I can't listen to. They was talking about, one in every two, three people get sick and they get this. And um I said, no, I can't listen to that because I can't allow that to go in my spirit. It is illegal for sickness to enter my body. And that's the stance that people have to take. It is illegal for sickness to enter my body. So no, I can't agree with that. We all got to die of something. Yeah, I'm happy. That's what I'm going to die of, being happy. I'm going to have all those things that I want because I'm willing to, number one, work hard for it, because God says faith without works is dead. Some people got a vision, but they ain't got no work ethic. Okay. They want to insert themselves into somebody else's hard work. That ain't going to work out. You got to be willing to be boots on the ground. You got to put in the work. You can't come up off of somebody else's back. You got to build your own foundation. Okay. And then if God uses somebody else to start, when God sees that you're faithful, He starts sending other people in to start blessing you and helping you. But build your own foundation. But when I die, it's going to be because I'm ready to go. And I'm going to die happy. Okay? And I'm going to have all those things I want because I had a work ethic. God gave me the vision, and He has already provided me the provision. So no witch, no devil, no hex, no nothing could ever stop that. They can get that bad karma into rotation in their very own lives, trying to block it, trying to speak up against it, or come up against it, but they can't stop it. Okay. And so the same thing goes for you too. When you make up your mind that I am on a journey, I'm going to work, pray, and slay, and I'm getting all those things that God has already provided for me. I'm on my journey. Okay. I'm getting about my journey because I know we're just passing through. Right. And so there are some souls that we have to touch. Everything, every soul that comes into our life. Okay. Don't regret it. It was all a part of the journey. Sometimes we get off on the wrong, we get off on the wrong trail for a little while, but just thank God when God put you back on the right trail. And that's just God when He started to rip people that was really, you know, because we got off on the wrong trail, He starts to put us back on the right trail, especially when there's a mandate on your life. Go, dog, that person was in my life for a short time. Hey, you got off on the wrong trail, but it's a lesson. But because you're so favored, God will snatch you off of that trail so quick, because you can't be on this trail too long, because there are other people that's a part of your journey that's waiting for you, that God has put there for you to bless. What we do is not about us, okay? It's always about God. Always about God and the people that God has put into our paths for us to bless. Everybody just sometimes feel like, I just want somebody to bless me. They want all the blessings. They're looking for somebody else to bless them, and they don't even understand that God has gifted them to be the blessing to other people. You can't see that when you are a taker. More people are just takers. They're always looking for somebody to give them something, right? They can't even fathom in their mind that I'm supposed to be the giver, right? I'm not the borrower. God has positioned me to be able to give something. But a lot of people don't have that mindset. So when I say that I'm a giver, I don't say I'm a giver because I look at myself as being weak. I say I'm a giver because God has given me, God has given me and going to give me more than what I need so I can give. I don't have to borrow anything. I like being a giver because that means that I have abundance. Okay? It don't mean I'm weak. It means that I have abundance. And that's why I say that all the time. I'm a giver. Okay? That means that I keep abundance, right? Not that somebody use me. I'm abundantly blessed. And I would rather be abundantly blessed and able to give to the needy than to always be borrowed in something. That means that I'm broke. Okay. Anyways, you guys, I gotta go. I gotta go. I said I was gonna make this short. I gotta get up out of here because I gotta I gotta go work, but I also gotta go. I think that luncheon starts. Is this luncheon starts at 11 or 10? Anyways, you guys, I love you guys. Speak positivity. So I'm a part of the needy. Speak positivity into the atmosphere. Take control of your own life. I love you guys. We'll talk later.